Today we're going to talk about tumor suppressors, which are proteins that can protect your body from cancer. First, let's cover some basics. Here's you. Your body is made up of about 1 trillion cells, and every single one contains your entire genome. Your genome is made up of many genes that consist of DNA sequences. These genes direct the production of proteins within your body. You have 2 copies of every gene, not that kind of gene, this kind of gene, which is made out of DNA. One from mom and one from dad. These copies are called alleles. Cells in your body are constantly dividing, and each time they divide, all of your genes get copied through a process called DNA replication. There are billions of cell divisions happening in your body every single day. Sometimes, during cell division, your DNA is copied incorrectly. This produces a cell that has an error in one or more of its DNA sequences. If your cell is unable to correct this mistake, it could lead to a mutated protein upon transcription, the production of RNA from DNA, and translation, the production of proteins from RNA. Certain mutations can lead to an overgrowth of cells, otherwise known as cancer.
Your body has certain proteins that regulate cellular growth and proliferation. These proteins are called tumor suppressors and are particularly important for preventing uncontrolled cellular growth that might stem from a DNA mutation. Tumor suppressors can be thought of as guards to a castle gate, which represents the entryway to cell growth and division. Sometimes other mutations try to attack this entryway and increase the amount of cell division and growth that the cell can undergo. Tumor suppressors prevent these mutations from gaining entry and stop them from turning the cells into cancerous cells. One example of a tumor suppressor is p53, which can activate DNA repair proteins to fix the mutations, halt the cell cycle to allow for more time for the mutations to be fixed, or, when the DNA damage is severe, force the cell to die. Another example of a tumor suppressor is APC, which is involved in preventing colon cancer. APC regulates other factors that control cell growth. Essentially, APC controls when certain proteins can enter the gate and gain access to cell division and growth pathways.
Remember how we said that sometimes things go wrong in cell division that cause mutations? Well, tumor suppressors can get mutated too. Sometimes this happens in your own body, and sometimes you inherit a mutation from one of your parents. Either mutation to the DNA, acquired from parents or obtained during a lifetime, can cause the resulting protein to lose its functionality. This means that our tumor suppressor protein cannot perform its proper role in regulating cell growth and division. Since you have 2 alleles for every gene, 2 copies of DNA, one from each parent, even if one allele gets a mutation and produces a non-functional tumor suppressor protein, the other allele can still produce a functional protein that will properly regulate cell growth and division. Half the protein would not work, the other half would. In the case of tumor suppressors, having half the normal amount of working protein is still sufficient to maintain overall function. However, if the second allele of the tumor suppressor gene is also mutated, there will be no functional tumor suppressor protein, and it will be unable to regulate cell division and growth. This can allow for other mutations to gain entry to the growth pathway and can lead to cancer.
Another way to look at tumor suppressors is to think about a driver's ed car, which has 2 sets of brakes. The car moving forward represents cell division and growth. The brakes represent tumor suppressors. They can regulate cell division and growth by slowing or stopping the car. Because this is a driver's ed car, it has 2 sets of brakes, one for the student and one for the teacher. One of these brakes represents the tumor suppressor protein produced from one allele, and the other brake represents the protein produced from the other allele. Think of a mutation in one allele as cutting one of the brakes. Even if one brake is cut, the other can still be used to slow or stop the car. If both brakes are cut, both alleles are mutated and all protein is non-functional. Then the car is unable to be slowed or stopped, and cell division and growth cannot be regulated. This unregulated cell division and growth can lead to cancer. Now let's review what we've learned today. First, tumor suppressors regulate cell division and growth. Second, mutations in tumor suppressor genes can result in a non-functional protein. However, mutations in both tumor suppressor alleles are required for complete loss of function. This can lead to cancer.